with some oxygen not included. We're gonna start a new game here and just start playing and talking about oxygen not included. So we're gonna go into survival mode, and I have done the basic Terra map before. I've also done the Oceania. That's rough, right? Because that has a lot of extra water that has its own problems that the first map didn't even have. This Verdante was okay, except for there was just a ton of it was really hard to get started because of the lack of algae. Rime, I've seen so many people do Rime. I'm gonna pass that up, and we're gonna try Arborea. Arborea seems like a good candidate. I haven't seen a lot of other folks do this. I'm not sure what this looks. That looks rough. We're just gonna avoid that. Geoactive. The world has more geysers and vents than usual. That's probably to our benefit. We'll stick with that. Large glaciers, that'll help cooling in the early game. Except when, in two past games I've had large glaciers next to the magma biome, which has completely obliterated it and turned it into steam. And then I accidentally drill into it and I'm screwed for, like 1 to 200 cycles. Metal Pour. Not sure that I want that. Let's get rid of Metal Pour. Metal Rich, miscalculated pod location. Yeah, I haven't played a miscalculated pod location yet. Let's do that. And Metal Rich seems good. Everything else should be normal for this map. So let's get started. So let's see what we've got here. Agriculture and strength. So I don't know this map, so I'm gonna go with my standard thing. This came from Grind This Game, Francis John. They talk about we want builders and we want diggers, and then we want sort of a wow. Oh, that's a loud sleeper. We don't want that. And we want a researcher. So let's get a +7 to researching. It's +7 to science. Nighttime. I don't want narcoleptic, so let's do that one again. That's great, except not good with noodle arms, so keep going. Let's see. And then let's see. Researching. Food morale bonus. Noodle arms. No. Keep going. Oh, I clicked too fast. Cannot do doctoring errands. Vomiter, increased excavation. This is actually really good for the early game because excavation is going to help a lot in the beginning, and then later on in the end when there's nothing to research, excavation will be good too. Can't do doctoring errands. Don't care. We usually don't need doctors, or I haven't in the past, so probably don't need to worry about that. In terms of excavation, 7 excavation, increase excavation. Can't do researching areas. This is perfect, right? We don't need him to do researching. Increased excavation and +7. This is like a perfect roll. And then we got a builder. Let's get 7 construction. Increase cuisine, decrease food morale bonus. Can I do doctoring errands? Yeah, that's pretty okay. Let's get started. So the very first thing I'm going to do is pause the game. And we're going to take a look around. Got water over here. We've got some water over here. We got some oxalite, some oxygen up there. We got a bunch of stuff to eat up here and here. Looks like this is an aluminum ore map. Tons of dirt. Not igneous rock. Don't see. Let's do an overlay real quick. Of metals. So we've got aluminum. There's a mineral. We've got granite. We've got igneous rock. We've got oxalite. We've got rust. So another rust and salt right below us. What's that temperature? All right, so we've got a cold biome right below us. That's probably pretty okay. What's the temperature? 1 degree. Yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. Cultivatable soil. Here's some phosphorite and just a ton of dirt. And liquid, here's our water. So first thing we're gonna do is we need to figure out where do we want to actually put our pitcher pump to start. This looks like pretty amazing. So let's get to digging. I don't know. Let's do that first. And then we also want to kind of decide where we want to take our sort of our up and down. So I'm going to assume we're probably going to go up and down here. We'll probably want to probably clear all this stuff out, and make, sort of our, our bathrooms right here. We don't want to make them up there in case something spills, right? We'll probably make our bathrooms right here. Go up and do some ladders up top here. That way we can get maybe some bedrooms up there, I think is what we want to look to do. One of the things is when you start building, I did this a lot in my early games. I started to build down, and building down is fine. You just can't put a lot of stuff there because of the carbon dioxide. Then I was like, if building down is bad, I'm going to build up. Well, that doesn't work either, because now the carbon dioxide is on your first level because you haven't built a pit yet. So, and all your oxygen floats up to the top. And if you're not putting stuff up there, you have to be very careful when you first build where you put your stuff. And you kind of want to have it sort of in the top to middle, and then build enough of the way down so that your carbon dioxide gets down below and your oxygen is right at the level of where you're actually going to be living. So we're going to leave this at normal speed for right now, just so that we can make sure that we get the best start that we can once we get into nighttime. Oh, by the way, we got to fix schedules. So first thing, we're going to kill their bath time. They don't need that. We're going to just put that as a work time. And then we're going to need a couple of new schedules. So we want to assign everybody a new schedule. So we'll get some downtime here, bedtime here, and we really only need 2 bedtimes, and then they can wake up again. And then let's see, downtime here and bedtime here, because from what I've learned, through various tutorials, Francis John, grind this game, etc. There's the bedtime. If they're in the bed and they need to sleep for 3 cycles or three ticks, they'll do that. So we don't need to put more than 2 here. And for right now, they're happy just from getting started, so they don't need that much downtime. So this is really good, and sort of separating them out is going to be good. We're actually going to create 4 schedules, so that our 5th person, so that our next duplicant that comes in here, will be able to just fill in, and I won't have to remember to do something with the schedule. After that, then we'll have to remember what we're doing with the schedule. So we'll move Ren down to the default schedule down here. We'll rename all of these. I'll just leave that as default schedule. Schedule 1, well, we'll call it schedule 0. And let's see, schedule 2. And we'll go to schedule 3. We've got these schedules set up. Now I'm going to rename. I like to rename my folks for the job that they're performing. So Ren has 5 digging. That's our the skills of. Oh, this is the construction. So that was the to-do list. Sorry. So we're builder 1. We'll actually rename the builder 1 later on when the builder becomes a builder digger. Harold is an excavation, so we'll say digger 1. And then Stinky is a researcher 1. And we probably never will get beyond 1 researcher. We don't need it, but you know, keeping the naming convention consistent. So once we've got those set up, those names set up, now we're going to set their priorities. So in terms of digging, we're going to set builder, high priority digging, digger, high priority digging, and that's not supply. I don't want supply. I want building. And for the researcher, we're actually going to reduce the building and digging and increase researching. So what's going to happen is the researcher is going to do everything else. If the researcher doesn't have researching, he's going to do everything else in the priority order that we set. And then once everything else is done, which it never will get done, then he'll start to build and dig. The builders and diggers will always build and dig, and then they'll do literally everything else, except we're not going to ever have them do researching because we only want one person doing the researching. This guy's got the science. He can do it fast enough. We'll leave it like that. All right. So let's get back to this. Now that we've got all that set up, we're going to build a pitcher pump right here. That's going to dig out those tiles automatically for us. And we're going to drill in the ladder right there. Ladder segment right there. Looking at this, I like to do essentially, one open tile ladder segment. Then leave this again as an open tile here, but leave this for a pole at the end. So we'll just leave these 2 tiles in here for now, and we'll just throw a door in here, signifying essentially, the start of where we want to be for our room. We need to kind of brick this in here, and then we're going to want to build some wash basins. I'll throw one in there, and we're also going to want to build a toilet. So if we make this as big as we want in the future, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the end of our washing stations, and this is where our outhouse is going to sit. Now we're going to dig up this plant. It's an arbor tree, and it can be pretty important, but we've got a ton over here. So and we've got a pit that's going to be harvesting that, getting us dirt back from that and consuming those. And then laying pip eggs, and so that's all fine, right? We can get rid of 1, and then we're gonna just sort of do that there. Actually, we don't need this last one, so we're also trying to do this as somewhat quickly. So for this, we're gonna set our priority up to 7. Set the direction to be left, so they're only washing their hands on the way out. And our priority is 7 because that means that when we get the pitcher pump, that if the researcher has no research to do, is going to fill this pump up. So that's good. We've got our start there. Now we need to think about where we're going to put the bedrooms if we get to that point. So the other nice thing about the schedule that we did there is they're only going to be using the bathroom one at a time before they... Wow, goodness, I had to sneeze. They're only going to use the bathroom, during their allotted time. So if we look at our schedule, the first duplicant schedule is coming up. Ren's is coming up soon, so we need to prioritize this. I'm just going to throw a 9 on these, making sure that we get the building and digging for that done. It's actually the only thing left, so hopefully we get it done in time for... Oh, he's stuck already. That's pretty exciting. So hopefully we can get this outhouse done. Build up in time for our Ren to be in the schedule. Now, we got to find some other things. So I'm going to pause. Let's see. Pause here, and we're going to open up the stations, and we're going to put a research station in right there. And then we're going to build a ladder segment up. And so eventually this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles high. So we're going to want to start, this is going to be our intermediary level. And so the 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's fine. Now we want to dig out 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way over to here. We're going to kind of figure this out. Put that there. Maybe we'll put a cot here. 1, 2, 3. And then in terms of priority, we're just going to 9. Just going to 9 all these, and then that way. Then they'll figure out the rest. So now we're just going to wait for them to sort of do their thing. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be the base of that. This thing's entombed. And this is a mirth seed. So we're safe to just take all this out. Start clearing out a path. Same for up here. We can just clear all this out. He's going to the bathroom. Fantastic. Could probably queue up the rest of these outhouses. Oh, nope, don't do it that way. That's gotta be, they gotta go out further. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I don't think I counted right. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't count right. So we're gonna kill that, and then we're gonna put the outhouse here. And then we're going to throw some more tiles in. And another pneumatic door there. Sort of get that queued up. Got this water here. Probably not going to do anything with this. Might just at some point pump it over. We have to be careful that we don't dig too much. This is dirt, so I'm probably going to leave 2 tiles just to make sure it doesn't come over. Let's see. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 down there, and we can dig. I actually picked the dig tool. We can dig 4 across into this oxalite and dig around it. No, we don't want to do that. Close. Leave that there. And dig around here. Great. Same thing for this. This is going to essentially be sort of our starter pit for CO2. Looks like Ren didn't make it in time for the new schedule to get into a cot, but the researchers should be able to get there in time. From a room bonus perspective, yeah, we've got a latrine room bonus already. This is not a minimum size yet for a bedroom, so so that doesn't count yet. But when they dig that out further, it will count. Let's just clear some of this stuff. Just get more resources. It also helps with our oxygen flow. New achievement. Have at least 1 toilet in the colony and a bed for every duplicant. So we've got that going. This oxyfern we're going to leave for as long as we can, because it's going to generate us oxygen. Probably can pick up that mirth seed. Mealwood, we're going to leave it. Probably leave this this hexalin. It's some really basic food, but we'll leave it here until we need it. That way it doesn't necessarily go bad in the ration box. We'll end up moving our ration box into a CO2 chamber. I think we can speed it up a little bit. And we've got a bunch of orders sort of captured. So we know that this is sort of the, let's see, we'll build some ladder segments here and here. Let's see, so an arbor tree just got planted there. So we'll take this out and we'll take these two out here. Got that mirth seed. Give us access into all of this stuff over here. We also want to start digging this way too. Some of our oxalite has over. Now we're building ladder segments because you can easily just replace ladder segments. Like you can make a build order for basically anything over top of those ladder segments. So that just helps us, you know, helps us out. These hexen I am going to dig up just because don't want to get in there, and so there's no reason to keep them if I can't get in there. And let's see, we're just going to throw 2 tiles up here to keep this room bunked in. And I'm going to build the rest of the cots out. So 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. They're done building that. And we'll put the door into nowhere. Might want to go there later. Maybe I don't. Maybe we'll change that door out. We'll see. And here's another bed for them. Kind of dig all that out. Now we're going to sort of just dig over here like this. Grab some ladder segments, and I'm actually going to put ladder segments here as well. Trying to get some of this. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sweep this. It's enough that I can just sweep all that up. All right, now we need some power, and we need to get started on research. So let's get that going. So we're going to create a manual generator here. We're going to create 2 batteries to start with. Just sitting on that. Oh, there's an arbor tree growing there. Well, that's got to go. And that one's got to go too, fortunately. We're going to, because we got to put wires in into that and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's up the priority on these guys in terms of building. Now I realize I'm setting everything to 9. It's just easier for me to set them to 9 at the moment. Later on in the game, you're not going to want to set things to 9 because there is going to be definitely a ton of stuff you're going to want to do in a very specific order. And just setting everything to 9 is too much micromanagement. At this state in the game, you only got 3 duplicants, so it's like if you want something now, you set it to 9, and then they'll do it, and then it'll go away. Don't set things, actually, set this to 8. This is pretty important because they need to clean it. They've only got 12 visits remaining. Set likewise with this is a 7. We gotta make sure that the water's filled up. So going back to power, so we're gonna create another battery here. I like to run my wires through the floor, and it makes it easier to replace them later, right? So we're gonna do that to here. At some point I'm gonna have to move this around when we get better research. So we're gonna do, colony development first and going straight to advanced research so we can grab that. We're not gonna necessarily need it. Now let's just take an inventory of where we're at. So we got 25,000 calories. We've only got 3 duplicants. Things are looking okay. The oxygen levels are fine. If we need to, we've got rust immediately below us. There's some chlorine here, which is not the greatest. But we can probably dig into some of the rust, grab it, and then do an oxygen rust deoxidation and rust deoxidizer, and that'll give us oxygen and chlorine, and we'll just have to, manage the chlorine when it happens to us. Got a morb over here that's probably gonna. Actually, not that word. He's in chlorine, so if he pumps out slime lung, it's gonna die immediately. So that's exciting. The rest of the stuff just looks like plants and things just hanging around. We're gonna go to harvest plants. We're gonna set this as a 7 to harvest all of these plants. There's mealwood seeds being planted by little kitty cats. So we'll just set all these, everything we can see, to harvest 7. We're gonna live off the land for a little bit as we build up before we actually get into food production. Since we can kind of do that. And there's an oxifern. No, don't do that. Whew, caught it just in time. Yeah, so that oxifern seed, oxifern is just going to sit there. I thought it had been entombed, but maybe that was just because it was entombed here, and it actually was growing just fine. So this is really good. So we've got 2 oxifern seeds right in the middle of the base. Probably clear that and clear this. Get some better airflow going through here. Looking at oxygen levels, it's getting kind of slim towards the end here. And then we've got some CO2 here that needs to make its way out. And if we build too much higher, this oxygen is all going to float up there. Even though there's more oxygen here, all that oxygen is going to float up. So we're just going to chill out on that for now. For this is probably going to become a park later. Give our duplicants some easy morale. There's a ton of trees and stuff in here that I'm probably going to want to keep. Let's see. So, all right, we took out that there. Let's add another one here. And it's just some dirt. Interesting. Oxyfern next to oxalite. I wonder if that's going to keep the oxalite in its solid format. There's a lot of oxalite around here, like a lot more than I'm used to. So we should be okay for a little while. Starting to get our coal over here past our igneous rock. We're on cycle 3, so we should be getting something here. Oh, we got hatches on this level. That's going to be super exciting. We need to get husbandry up, get our coal going, get our ranching and food going. If we can't get that, if we get farming going first, that's also fine. Just farming takes a lot of water, and I don't see any sort of geysers or other addition. There's some additional water over here. That's good, but I don't see like polluted water. I see some ethanol. The water might be our problem here. Pretty soon. Research is complete. They're doing the next set of research. Probably jump into food next. After this, so we can build. certain food sources. What's the word? Dining rooms. We have mess halls and great halls. We're gonna throw some of these in there so we have something to walk on. What else we're gonna do is we're gonna set the priority to operate as second highest for the researcher. So the researcher is gonna do researching, then operating, right? So if the generator needs to be run because the battery recharge is less than 50%, we're gonna lower this a bit to 30%. So that they're not switching, context switching back and forth frequently. We're also going to copy the settings of these and do that now that this is all built out. And give some more dig orders to continue to go out this direction. And we've got new printables available, so let's go investigate what those are. You have to reset some more orders. This is going to be a problem. They're not going to be able to jump over that. All right, so we got dirt. We don't need any of that. We got oxalite. Might need that. we might take that if everybody else is kind of not good. So this person is immune to food poisoning with 7 tidying and vomiter. This is sort of just an all-around good person to have. This has got construction, creativity, and strength, but is destructive stress reaction. Don't want this because I know myself. There is going to be a point in time when I screw up later in the game, and they're not going to repair buildings well above 60% stress. And when they hit 100%, they're going to destroy buildings. And I've had it where they've destroyed, the one tile I had holding in my entire water supply, and it just spilled everywhere. So if I see destruction, I'm never picking that again. So we're going to just pick up Camille. We're actually going to rename Camille to Tidy, and we're going to give her tidy tasks. She can't do cooking, that's fine. We're eventually going to need just only a single cook. Can't do researching errands, we don't care about that either. Food poisoning, we don't usually have a problem with food poisoning, but it's not a bad trait. So for her skills, we're going to give her improved strength for tidying, and then we're going to assign her, in terms of priorities, tidying and supplying as high priorities, with storing being this next highest. And there's some other things I didn't set either. So we'll give life support, tidying, and supplying are going to be the top 3, with storing being the next highest. But everybody should be very high for attacking. It's the only time they ever attack is when I sell them. So they'll stop everything they're doing and attack because it's probably pretty important. Toggling, also, there's nothing that passively just asks them to toggle something. It's only when I ask them to toggle something. So if I'm asking them to toggle something, I probably need them to do it pretty quickly. So I don't mind that it trumps everything else that they're doing. With everything else, we'll just leave it for now. Yeah, looks good. Gonna jump into this 1,800 grams of oxygen. Get that to come out. 17 out of 20 for novice research. That's pretty good. Let's see. This is just dirt, right? There was something there, but not anymore. There was an arbor tree there, but there isn't. And of course, since we had the schedule come in, Tidy is going to be on the default schedule. Latrines are max 64 tiles. What else is max 64 tiles? Let's see. Bedrooms, mess halls. Mess halls are 64 tiles, but we want to make a great hall. Massage clinics are 84 tiles, and hospitals are 96. Power plants are 96. Greenhouses 96, 96, 96, and parks are 64 tiles, and nature reserves are 120 tiles max. All right, so research is done here. Let's go up into agriculture. Let's start. Now this is the farming. Let's just go straight to ranching as fast as we can. That way we can, when we get a rancher, we'll be ready to get started. We'll also build out the ranch pretty quickly here too, in preparation for this hatch. This hatch has got is 27. It's got 73 more cycles left, so that should be plenty of time to find what we're looking for. Once that gets done, we're also probably going to invest in some I got some mealwood in there. We're probably also going to invest in some airflow tiles to get rid of this carbon dioxide that's sort of floating around in here. Should be enough ladder segments to kind of make that happen. But we can't put ladder segments in like our rooms because then it doesn't count as a room anymore. It opens it up and counts both sections as one room, so it doesn't close it off. Speed it up a little bit more to our maximum. Everybody's got a job that they're doing. The other thing basic farming can help us do is we can unplant these oxyfern seeds and replant them, and they'll produce a ton more oxygen than they do just sort of naturally, which is what we'll do if we get in a situation where we have a real need for oxygen. And these guys fell in. What are you guys doing? How did that even happen? And now you're cold and suffocating. This is a great start. What in the world? I didn't even see. I'll have to go back and look at the footage of that because I'm not sure how they fell in there. That's unfortunate. Now they're probably pretty yeah, they're unhappy. They're gonna get unhappy. So we're gonna do. All right, we've got 2 people idle, so let's just keep building this way, digging this way. And we're also gonna sort of dig into here. Let's just make sure that there's nothing. Pause. And we'll just grab all this. Grab these. They can hop up and down 2 tiles at a time, so that's fine. We don't need the mirth seed there. And let's see, we'll just throw some of these guys in there. Probably not going to build them if they dig first, but this is where that 5th tile comes into play. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, sort of go out to there. Gonna need to put a couple of things here. Missing research station. Yep, that's fine. Let's switch over actually before they get too far down in that. And we want to switch over to the airflow. So under gases, we're gonna do airflow tile. That still uses novice stuff. I'm not ready yet to move this and put in the big dog station, the supercomputer, and it's just 1 tile too wide because I didn't calculate that correctly. So I'm probably gonna rip everything else out. I'll probably wait till I get the power, where I get the big battery, and I'll just deconstruct these to put the big battery here, move over the manual generator, and then kill the ration box. Going to need some place to put our food. Probably gonna do it right here, just right above, right next to all this stuff. Or not food, rather our Great Hall. So I need 120 tiles. Let's figure out how far that is and if that's going to interfere with this potential farm area in the future. Probably is. So 120 tiles is 30 long. So kind of. We still want to put it there. I don't see another place to really put it. Unless I go out at the mid-level. So we're just gonna destroy all this. And we're gonna destroy this too. And we're gonna put tiles here. And in fact, I think I did 30 from there, but I need to do a door here. So this is, it's 30 right there. So door goes here, door goes here. 2 tiles. They were able to successfully build this, so we'll go ahead and throw some more tiles there. And then we're just gonna make this sort of like an access path so we don't lose too much. I'm not even gonna build anything up there because I don't want to lose too much oxygen from having that extra space up there. So put 2 tiles here, and then we're gonna put some mess halls in. We're gonna put a we gotta get rid of this thing first. I'm gonna throw the priority to 9 on digging those up. What's interesting about these is they get dug up based upon farming. So unless you're like killing the tile underneath, which is digging or constructing, this is farming. So like you see here, like he's got uproot 9, but it's an Aaron type of farming. So like that's why the researcher's doing it, because the researcher is the only one, if we look at our priorities, where farming comes right after researching and operating, and he's got nothing to research right now. Not sure if it's from lack of power or what, but he came up there and did farming instead of researching. So now that's all cleared out, we're gonna put in a water cooler. And we're gonna put in some mess tables. We've got 4 duplicants. We're gonna put in 5 mess tables for 1 for expansion. Actually, let's just put in 8 because that keeps us all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That keeps us all even with beds and mess tables. Now what's interesting is I could probably make this a 2-story park and just sort of blend these together. What do I need for nature reserve? Nature reserve requires at least 4 wild plants, and so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got enough, more than enough here. So I'm actually just gonna kill all these. And then we'll just throw a tile in there and in there. We unfortunately need to kill this so that we can get, so it stops interfering with our, same thing here. It stops interfering with our level. And we've got some skills. Let's look at the researcher. Yep. So researcher's gonna level up the fastest because researcher has science. Science makes them learn skills faster. This research is done, so we're gonna go into power next. Get that big battery, and we'll also do coal too. Coal is pretty important for what we're gonna do next with this eatery here. Improve digging, hard digging, that's great. Got a bunch of CO2 in our little CO2 pit. Oh, there's some oxygen down here. That's probably pretty important to get to. What's the temperature like if we dig into that? Is that going to cause us problems? Maybe? I'm fairly certain that being cold is a lot easier to fix than being hot. So, yeah, we'll just keep drilling down into here. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should get us that oxygen out of there. and give us more space for CO2 to kind of fall down. We'll drill that out. We're not going to drill those out yet, though. This has got mealwood in it. What does this guy have? Nothing. So we'll drill this out and 4 down. Grab all that yummy oxygen out of here. Hopefully that transfers up. Get rid of these notifications. What achievement did we earn? Construct a building outside the initial starting biome. So I guess this must be considered outside the initial starting biome. Who's idle and why? Oh, no, nothing to research. All right, so let's grab. They're getting really good at their job. They're really fast. Let's do brute force refinement. We're gonna need that eventually. And for this, we're actually going to deconstruct this. I built this wrong. And what we're going to do is we're going to now drill 1, 2, 3. And put those there. Let's see. We do... It should be here, I think. And dig out all these things, deconstruct this guy, and put in a lagger segment up at the top. And then we're gonna build some more. Let's see. You know, this actually is going to work out really good because this has an extra like sort of level. I'm going to cancel that. That means that I'm going to be able to now forever be able to access this. In other games, when I've done this build before, like this floor level is inaccessible once I put a floor on top of it, which is what I'm about to do. Should I do that? Should I do it this way? Yeah, this will be fine. I just want to make sure it doesn't, like, the CO2 gets caught. So basically what we're going to do, if it was Francis John did something along these lines where you basically build all your cooking stuff like right here, and you also you start off with like building a coal generator. You build a coal generator on top of this, run it for a little bit, stuff a bunch of CO2 in here, and then throw your ration box in there. Let's see what we got for blueprints. So fungal spores. I haven't seen slime yet, so I don't think I can support mushrooms. Ranching, husbandry, 7. Binge eater, snores loudly. That's unfortunate. I can't take the snores loudly because, you know, of the beds. There's such close proximity, and I don't feel like, you know, building a bed off in the middle of nowhere, so they can sleep by themselves. Do I do it anyways? Do I make the provision? I don't know. Probably not. We've got creativity and machinery with increased science, which gives 30% skill leveling. We don't care about the research speed. +2 to bonus to all attributes at night seems pretty strong, and it's got the creativity and the strength, which is for tidying and other rent. Strength is always good, right? Machinery is good. We just don't have the machinery yet. We can get that later. I'm gonna hate myself for not picking husbandry 7. We're gonna not get this again for a while, but what can you do? I really, really, really don't want snores loudly. I really don't want it. That's a pain in the ass. All right, May. What are you going to do? What are we going to make May do? We'll just see. We'll just call her an artist. And we'll print her. And as the first thing we're going to do, we're not going to give her art skills yet, because we don't really need to build in the art stuff, and we don't even have that researched yet. But we are going to put her into supplying and sort of give her those odd-ended jobs, right? So for her priority, we're going to actually throw her up into storing as #1 priority, and then everything else will just, you know, come as it may, right? So realistically, she's not doing anything other than cleaning and putting stuff away where it needs to be stored. Otherwise, there's just, you know, whatever the priority is, she'll get it done. We don't have anything to store at the moment, but we will soon. And then builder 1, improve construction. Let's go. Got a ton of oxygen over here. It's not making its way over because of the CO2 is so thick. This looks pretty good. 800 grams of oxygen in here. That's really good. Just need a way to get this oxygen out of there through the CO2. Get the CO2 out of here. I probably just need to continue building down further. If I build here, am I gonna catch any of these chlorines or additional CO2s? No, so we'll just cut into this. Cut into this all the way across. Mafic rock, how? Okay, so this mafic rock is usually hot from space, but it's from this rust biome, so it's not that hot. So it's actually fairly cold. So we'll just do this. And we'll dig some more into here. We'll probably stop there because we're gonna want to build. We're gonna want to build around that water tank. Maybe make it our permanent tank. I don't know. We'll see. See how this all pans out. Got this first layer. Here's second layer, and so we're gonna put all the stuff on the second layer. Now, you know, we also researched enough to get the ration boxes, so we'll throw the ration boxes in there. And we killed our doors, but we're gonna put doors like this, so they step up and get into here. Great. And we're gonna just priority 9 that guy and make him take everything. So like even cooking ingredients is not going into there. All edibles are. And we'll just deconstruct this guy because we don't need it anymore. We'll deconstruct this guy as well. Sort of start moving things around. Take our jumbo battery, throw it on there. Put our power in. Deconstruct this wire. We're going to deconstruct our thing here and deconstruct this battery. So now we don't have any power. That's fine. We're going to throw in this manual generator soon. As soon as that's deconstructed. Nope, don't do that. Got click happy. So we're going to throw this manual generator right here. And then we're going to take a station and we're going to put a supercomputer there. We're also going to hook this wiring up like that and go back into here and deconstruct that wire. Get that get that aluminum ore back. This requires super hard digging skill, but the stuff behind it doesn't. I'm considering putting a ladder there. I probably won't. I'll just wait till we get somebody up to super hard digging. There's some more oxygen down here, so we can probably continue to go down further. And I don't see. I just want to make sure there's nothing else other than carbon dioxide. I don't really want to deal with anything else right now, like the chlorine next to it on the other side. We'll just sort of drill into this. What are the temperatures like over here? This is pretty hot. Don't know if I want to dig into this. We'll just cancel this stuff. And then build some ladder segments here. And then we'll dig into some more of the cold stuff here. Looking down further, we probably got some cool stuff in here. We can kind of explore. Got ice. Got cold ethanol. We've got iron ore. Coal. So yeah, we're starting to reveal more of the map. I'm not seeing any slime whatsoever. So it's probably a good idea that we did not take that. Take those mushrooms, because that wouldn't have helped us. Also, I just realized, I think we're in a miscalculated pod location. So we actually might not be, we might be really close to the magma biome. We also could be really close to the top. We could be on the left side or the right side. I have no idea where we are. We need to find out and see if we can get to the side of the map soon. Let's get some of this ranching research done so we can lament not picking the +7 rancher. We're gonna copy the settings for this guy as well, put them in there. Why are you sleeping? Are they just not making it back in time? You are exhausted. Why are you exhausted? They never got to sleep. Why do they not get to sleep? They've got beds. Maybe we need to go and add something to their schedule. We're going to add some downtime to everybody's schedule. The researcher is sleeping. See if that researcher has problems when they wake up. Maybe they fixed it. Maybe they fixed maybe it was a bug around giving them 3 cycles to sleep. Maybe we need to give them more. Ah. Yeah, we gotta set these to priority 8s. They're not getting cleaned. There we go. Yeah, let's and actually from the schedule's perspective, this person needs to not be sleeping at night. You are gonna go into schedule 3. Forgot to do that. We've not been getting good stuff out of them. Let's add a bedtime to each one. Maybe we're wrong about the bedtimes. Maybe they fixed that since the last time we saw that. So we'll just throw a 3rd bedtime in there. If they start becoming unproductive, we'll worry about that later. I'll throw a coal generator in here just for grins. We'll disable it immediately after we build it. We're not ready to start producing. Well, yeah, we'll disable it and then run some wires. Before we do that, let's grab and do all this like so. We got airflow tiles. We need to start putting them in to make sure that we can get our air, our oxygen, and our carbon dioxide to exchange properly. Taking this, we're gonna do a fuel request threshold of 100% because we want it to be full all the time. And we're gonna actually disable the building and set it to a priority 9. We'll change those settings later. The reason you want to have 100% is once you get smart batteries, it doesn't really matter what the percentage is, but you know, when it's not at 100%, fill it up, and then the smart battery will just make sure it doesn't go down because it won't be you know, sending a signal to request more power. Oh, I got 3 idle duplicants. Let's find something for you guys to do. All right, that oxygen cleared out of there fast and got replaced by carbon dioxide pretty darn quick. Let's see, what's that Pip doing? Is he doing something special with all that? No. We'll take care of this stuff right here. I know there's a problem with heat. We'll just do that. Let's see what the heat looks like. It's not terrible. I'm hoping it'll exchange. Now, here's a trick. I don't mind doing this. It is probably a bug or cheating, but it's just a pain in the ass otherwise. But if you set an emergency against against the priority of one of these geysers or something, it'll actually tell you what it is. So this is a polluted water vent. So we already know it's a polluted water vent. I have no desire to uncover that yet. Now, we said that we might have problems with water in the future, so that'll be good if if we do run into that issue. If there's, you know, there's petroleum generation that is a water positive process that we can look forward to, but in the meantime, we might harvest this if we run low on water. Let's get some more research going. What do we need next? We're probably gonna do. I like how smart batteries are under sound amplifiers. I wonder when they change that. That's kind of a nifty heading. It should probably just be under advanced power regulation, right? Like, but maybe there's a balance thing. They didn't want it to be in both. But we'll need both of these next, I think, to sort of, you know, make our power plant or do its job. All right. Well, folks, I think that's all for me tonight. We will be back hopefully tomorrow, sometime after the kids go to bed. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.